welcome back.
Good morning everyone.
Another beautiful day. A few clouds scattered about, but we're not complaining. If you can hear a noise in the background, it's Goatee rubbing himself up against the wire fence. I think when he's got an itch, he rubs himself.
It makes me very happy. As you can see, the stuff has arrived this morning for the roof.
Momentous occasion.
Yes, hopefully we're going to be starting that in the next day or so. But in the meantime, if you watched the last one, I'm going to carry on trying to rebuild the back door before the wall falls down.
Yes.
So let's crack on. So first of all, I'm in our incredibly busy workshop. I'm going to make the lintel for that door. I've got this incredibly heavy piece of steel here. It's 10mm thick angle, which I'm going to sink into the walls at the end. That's going to go into the wall. This is going to carry the beam in here, like that. I just need to cut it to length, and then it's heavy. I'm going to use this to weld it onto there. You can see that like that, and this is going to carry the stones, because that's going to be set into the wall. If I explained it well yesterday, you will see shortly. So first thing I need to do is get this cut, which is no mean feat. So if you saw the last video, I knocked out the old lid. The door was about this high, really low. Took the old door frame out, took the old rotten olive and almond, I think the lintels were, and just got my floating beams here, which are propped up on two acrows with a massive piece of wood. What I want to do, I'm going to cut the lintel to go probably to about here. This part is all going to come out because it's just a stop for the old original door. The frame was behind there, so I'm going to give us a little bit more width to take it out. It's probably be about there, but thicker on the inside. So I want the lintel to come in to there-ish, and then the same amount, so that much, a guessing, to go into the wall at this side. So the first thing I need to do, get my tape measure and measure it. Let's try that. So that's a metre, so we'll have it, I think, yeah, 4 or 5 inches into the wall there. So I'll cut it at 110 centimetres. I should be able to use the offcut, hopefully, to gauge where it's going to lie, because you can see they're not level. I'll probably have to pack up under them with some steel or something. But yeah, first job is to get it cut. Alrighty, so I'm just going to measure it. There. Challenge the saw now. It's a heck of a piece of steel, this is. Do. Tighten him up. Right, so this is the offcut. You can kind of get the idea where it's going to go, and I can see what I need to take out on this side to get it to come up. So I'll get a big shifter. It's just going to be a steady progress of whacking it out. I've got to be careful because obviously this is just keyed into itself and I don't want it falling down on my head. But first of all, we need to get rid of that. just keep trying it and keep chipping away, and till we get there. Right, okay. You wouldn't believe it, but that is actually dead level. I've had a level on it. This is not easy. This is heavy. Absolutely spot on. If anything, it wants to come down a fraction at that end, but that's not a problem. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to draw on the wall here where I need to open it up. I'm going to try anyway. For the longer one to go in. So I'll get that dug out. Right, so this side's done. Just got to work on this side now. Right, give it a trial fitting. Oh, I can pick it up. I should look like Arnold Schwarzenegger, you know. Schwarzenegger, whatever his name is. Wow. It's in. Just needs to go back a little bit further on this side. Cool, right, I'll clean that out a bit and then we'll take 5. Right, so it's in. All I've got to do now is cut a piece for the front that's going to come out this way, so I can use to face up these stones, so you won't be able to see this. You'll just be able to see the underneath bit, but we'll paint it black and it should look alright. So I'll go and cut it's 50 by 50, it's about 2 inches. This one, that way and that way, which adding another angle will also add another massive amount of strength to this as well. Essentially, when the wall's built up, it's going to be under this joist anyway, so it's only really supporting this one, which is right at the end of the room. So I'm pretty happy that that's going to be fine. What I've done, I've measured it and I've marked it left and right. You probably can't see that because when I take it out to weld it up, I'll remember which way it goes then, because it's offset slightly, or it might be. So at least now I've got my marks on where my piece is going to go, and I've got left and right, so I can't get it wrong, allegedly, hopefully. Right, so back in the workshop, I've cut my other piece and I've clamped it to my marks, and now all I need to do is weld it up. I'm not welding it all the way around, I'll just put a few runs on it and underneath as well. Yeah, if my welding's alright, it won't fall off. So get the welder set up, get the generator fired up, and we have to run the generator because it's so thick. I'm going to be using a lot of amps, and we've only got 4 kilowatts an hour inverter, and it will trip it, so we just fire the generator up and it just runs directly off the generator. So let's get it done. And the next thing to do is grind down these welds on the underneath. I actually made a comment on Rob's channel, Weekend Shedded, that my welds didn't need grinding down. They don't, but because you're going to see this underneath and I'm going to paint it, I want it all nice and perfectly flat. So I'm going to grind them down with the grinding disc, and then I'm going to take a flat disc over the whole lot to polish it all up so we've got a nice smooth finish that's going to be visible from underneath. So let's crack on. Right up, so they're all ground off. At least when you grind your welds off as well, you can see that you've actually got good penetration and it's worked a lot as well. Now I've swapped it for a flat disc, which is just I think it's an 80 grit. I'm just going to polish it all up, and then it can be painted, or it can be painted when it's in, whatever. So I'll crack on with that. Right, so there it is, even heavier now. All nice and smooth. We'll probably just paint this underneath bit before we put it in. So yeah, I think that's the next thing. Let it cool off a bit. So we're in the paint shop. Not very bright in here. Get a coat of paint on it. Fab. I think that's alright. Not that I can see very well. Cool, I'm gonna, just let that dry now, and we'll get it in. We might have to touch it up when it's in, but it's basically done. Right, okay. You can see me. We're struggling with the lighting here, so apologies if the light's not that good. We thought we'd make the door open this way, because it used to stick out and block off light into the room. But if we showed you this little thing that's the original door closer, we thought it'd be pretty cool to keep that on our new door. So what I'm going to do, I think, I'm having to think about this because I need to start cleaning this up, ready to get it to put me to cement to fix my linteling line we're using. So I'm going to put this big chunky piece of wood on the wall here, or a full length one, and rebate it out to take the door, hinge it, and that way if I hinge it on the front here, it'll be able to swing back past this wall and give us loads in and not have anything encroaching on this side. Rebate it out, it should meet up. You can see that, the original door stop, which we can make good. And then even run a weather seal down it to keep the drafts out. The reason I wanted to, because I was originally going to take this out, because I need to rebuild all this lot here to support the lintel. So, but we've decided that's what we're going to do. We're going to have it opening right in there, and use the original key, the original lock, to keep as many of the old features as possible. So, right, now we can crack on. Now we know what we're doing. So bearing that in mind now, I can get all this lot vacuumed, ready to get the lintel in this side and this side, give it a really good clean out, and yeah, everything else should be alright. So I'll get it done. First let's give it a good brush off to get rid of the big bits before we vacuum it. There's plenty of them. It's blooming horrible. Can you see all that? Oh, what a mess. Bits of rotten wood still stuck in here and everything. Right, I got it sorted. I've just had a thought. Because the door's going to be opening that way, I just need to knock these bits out here because they'll actually stop it from opening. So I do need a bit more demolition. Righto, that should do it. Now I get it all cleaned up. Right, so I've got my lovely lintel here. that I made and painted. It's come out alright. What I'm going to do, I'm going to stick it in place loosely, and then I'm going to acro prop this up into place while I fix it all in, so it's held tight exactly where I want it. If I can lift it in there. Where's that ton? Also, I don't want to scratch my new paint job on it. Right, so he goes in there like that. Okay, right, I need to prop up this side now, get it level, and then we'll stick the acros under it. Easier said than done. I might have to wait for Sharon, she's just nipped out. Right, it's in. I've just stuck a stone under that side just to hold it. I'm just going to wait for Sharon to get back, because I want to put a piece of wood under it as well, so I don't scratch it, because I just painted it, remember. So yeah, I'll get them all set up and ready, then when she comes back we'll get it in place. We'll get it cranked, jacked up. Alright, I've managed it. It's absolutely dead level. Fairly dead level. Side on there. Right, this wants to go up a little bit at the right hand side. So we'll just see if we can wind this up a bit. It's going. Maybe down a bit at this side. There we go. Now it's level. Right, I've just checked at the back where the joists sit on it, and it's touching, it's up tight against the joists. So all we need to do now, he says, another one of his alls, is get a mix made up, find some stones, and get these all filled in to hold it where it is. If you see this front here, with the level sat on, this is just about flush with the stones there, so we'll be able to face this up and hide all this lot as well. Excellent, happy days. Alright, so my piece of wood was too long. I had to cut it off because I wanted with this wall's coming up here, up under there. I don't know if you can see, it was tall enough. I've got a little gap there, which is not ideal to fill with pointing material. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut some pieces of metal, various thicknesses that I can pack tight in there to hold that, to support it, rather than just putting mortar in there. Okay, I've stuck some metal wedges and things under this end. I've even taken the other acro out, and you can see it's sat dead level. In the olden days, in the UK at least, we would use slate for packing under these, but metal's better. It's never going to compress, it's never going to, shouldn't rot at all. So yeah, now we can start rebuilding it. Right, so this is all we've got to fill in. You can see the lintel there. I'm going to start, I've got a nice one that fits lovely in there. So we're just going to slowly start, fill it all up, and hopefully make it solid. Right, so we've got this side, there's a couple of big stones in there. Put a couple in for now, need to let them go off before we can fill the rest of it in. On the other side, and we built up this left hand side as well, which is right in the shadow, so I don't know if you can actually see it. But again, when this has gone off, we'll put another, hopefully one in there to support the lintel even further. And when we do it, if you can tell, it's all sort of rendered, hand rendered I think, because you can see like finger lines in it from when they did it 150 years ago. We're just going to have exposed stones all the way along and up there where that needs repointed, because hopefully one day, we don't know when, we're hoping to get all this off and have the whole thing exposed stone. But for now, we're thinking it'll look alright, so all we can do now is wait for that to go off.
So whilst we're waiting for this to go off, I've been on the hunt for some stones. What we need to do is to drop them in from this side if we can, if you can see that, to wedge this here. So we've got something to tie the cement to tomorrow. Yeah, the hardest thing is finding the stones to fit, which I've said before. But we're getting there. Let's see if that one will go in there. Bad. So just to show you from the other side, just to clarify what I was talking about, you can see the gap here is much bigger. It's much easier for me to get my hand in and drop a stone in, and then obviously sort it out from this side, but it's quite tight on that side. So yeah, this has all got to be filled in, as Andy said. But to start with, we're going to do the inside and get this all tied in properly. Bit of a job, but nothing worse than we've had to do in the past.
Right, okay, this has gone off proper solid. What we want to do next is get all this supporting structure shored up, beefed up, strengthened up, so we can get the acros out. And then I want to, where the end of the drain pipe is there's actually a dish in the wall that's been there forever, just in case it ever overflows, because this feeds two roofs, the top roof up there and this roof here all feed into there, so if we do get super heavy rain it may overflow. So I'm just going to shore up behind there as well, so once the main structure's done we can then get to pointing, and it's going to look something like that maybe going there, across the front of here hopefully. But first, let's get these done. This stone here is quite an important one because the face is going to be on this side and that's also going to be on the front as well. So I've got to get it in exactly the right position. So it doesn't stick out the back, it doesn't stick out the front, and it doesn't stick out too far at the side here. I think that should do it. If it'll stay there. Okay. So this is where the gutters meet. So I've just built it up in there as it was originally. It got washed out over the years, but this gutter comes down from the main roof and from the other roof above, all feeds into here. I'm not too close for you to see it, so no more water's getting in there now. Okay, it's looking something like now. What I'm going to do, I'm going to do another mix so you can get something in here, get a bit in this side over here, and then down the top, remember earlier we dropped those stones in there. I'm just going to set those in place, just to make it easier for Sharon to start doing the pointing. At least she's got a good base to work to. Then she'll have to put some smaller stones in, but that's the nature of the beast, I'm afraid. But yeah, so that's my next job. I'll get another mix on and try and make it look something more like. Alrighty, there we are. This side I've got a couple of finishing stones faced off on it. They're set nicely. This bit here we're going to have to carry on build it up for the doorstop, so we'll work that out when we get to that bit. And this side I've got these in pretty much finished, just wants pointing up around it now, maybe a couple of little stones in, and then of course above there I've filled in as much as I can behind here and set those stones you saw earlier that we poked through, so that's easy to point up inside. And I even put one in there and tried to fill a bit of a hole up there to make Sharon's life a bit easier. So all we can do now, at least now, hopefully, we can crack on with the roof, and well, Sharon can crack on with his pointing. So I'm going to get some gear out in anticipation. It's forecast to rain tonight, but in anticipation that it's not, I'm going to get out the scaffold tower and stuff like that, get it into position ready for the morning. Right, so this is our tower in bits. We're going to assemble it. We'll probably need it inside. It actually goes up about 4 meters, but we're just going to assemble the bottom half. Then if we need it inside, we can just wheel it in through the front door. If we need it outside, it's already here. We just got to add the top bits as necessary. So yeah, let's get it put together. And this is how easy it is to move. Alrighty, so we're all set for the roof.
We are. Fingers crossed.
100% chance of rain this evening.
Which is not what we want.
It's not, but it's only supposed to be light, maybe a couple of millimetres. Quite often it doesn't rain here at all, even when they forecast it. So,
yeah.
All being well, yeah, we'll be at it in the morning. And
in the meantime, I'm going to be doing this, finishing this off now that Andy's
hell of a job.
He's got it safe at least. It's his hell of a job because these stones aren't even
There's actually
attached to anything.
Nothing in the wall.
There's nothing at all.
No.
I don't know how it's stayed up this long.
Yeah.
So yeah, get all that pointed tomorrow and all this front faced off, all being well, unless it is raining.
You're under cover there.
Thanks.
You can't see that, can you?
Yeah.
I'll get you an umbrella.
Thank you.
So yeah, unfortunately, you'll have to pick it up on Thursday's video.
Yes.
Because we're out of time once again. All fingers crossed. Thank you so much for watching. If you have enjoyed it and you do want to continue, we've got the whole Finca to renovate, everything. This is just a small beginning.
Lasted about 15 years, I reckon. We've got plenty of content.
Plenty of viewing for you, yeah. So if you want to follow, this is the start of it. I know we've done upstairs a bit, but this is the start of the main building. We're on our way with it.
Yeah.
So if you do want to continue to watch our progress, consider subscribing to the channel. Little red button down there says subscribe. If you click the bell, check all, select all, YouTube will notify you every time we upload a video, so you won't miss any. And the best thing about it, it doesn't cost you a thing at all. Nope. And it still helps out the channel. Yep. So thanks all, and we'll see you on Thursday.